Hi everyone. I am Smriti Khandelwal, and yes, I am from a small town called Bijainagar in Rajasthan, India. I'm currently working in the UK in cybersecurity, and today I'm here to talk about kindness. So many people in the world are feeling lonely, isolated, they are stressed, coping with anxiety and depression. So many people are dealing with self esteem issues on a daily basis. The world we are living in is dire need of kindness to oneself and kindness to others. And I want to start by sharing a story. So, growing up, I've had some really bad experiences where I was mistreated because of the way I looked or dressed. I had a skin condition, and people used to make some really horrible comments about it. They thought it was funny to say such things. And this one night, I still clearly remember it. I was getting ready for bed and I washed my face to apply my bedtime medicine. And as I was applying it, one of my cousins walked in and he looked at me and said, "How do you look yourself in the mirror? Don't you get scared of your own face? You are so ugly." I immediately froze. I just couldn't say anything. Tears rolled down my cheeks, and I went to my room and I started crying. I couldn't sleep that night because I was so angry. Angry at him for saying something so horrible, and even angrier at myself for not standing up to him. And this happened almost 11 years ago, and I still clearly remember it. He might have forgotten it the next day, but 11 years later, here I'm still talking about it. Now, I want you all to think about a situation where someone close to you was really being mean. They were being rude and said something horrible. It can be from your childhood or even from yesterday. Perhaps it affected your identity, the way you started seeing yourself. Or perhaps it changed the way you feel about yourself. And even now, whenever you think about it, the whole situation plays in your mind and you start reevaluating it, thinking you could have said this or could have done that, but now it's too late. Now think about a situation when you were rude to someone, where you made fun of someone's looks or the way they dressed or talked. Can you imagine how they must have felt at that time? Remember the feelings when you were hurt and how that experience changed the way you felt about yourself. Now you have done that to someone else. You might have done it unintentionally or in a playful manner, but you never know how they felt afterwards. As the American poet and civil rights activist Maya Angelou once said, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And this is so powerful. People don't forget that. People don't forget how you made them feel. Those feelings, they stay with them, they hurt them, haunt them every now and then. They certainly have stayed with me. And that's what happens when we are unkind to people. We say things and we forget, but we don't know how others take it. We don't know how they feel afterwards. And this was one of the many incidents I faced. Sometimes it was about my looks, sometimes my personality, or sometimes simply because I am a woman who's trying to make her way in the society made for men and by men. My childhood wasn't a very happy one. I saw people around me mistreating each other ever so often that it became normal for me to be mean or unkind, to act rude. I thought that was the only way you could survive in the world, but I did not like it at all. At that time, I did not know what to do or how to react. I used to hate myself for not being a certain way or looking a certain way. My identity was based on what others thought of me. They mistreated me and I let them because I was too young to process the harm it was causing to my mental health. Those experiences, they left a big scar on my mind, which took years to heal, and I am still battling them on a daily basis. I thought the situation would change once I grew up. Little did I know I had other challenges waiting for me. And this time, they were cultural challenges, societal norms, and gender biases, which have been present for a long, long time. Suddenly, people around me started telling me what I can wear, what I cannot, how long my hair should be, how aligned my teeth should be. They started making decisions about what I should study in college, or if I should even go to a college, whether I can work or not. If she works, who will marry her? She's not ready for the world. She does not know how to carry herself. And to prove them wrong, I decided to be a little bit more courageous and set myself up for an adventure. And I thought, what is more adventurous than telling your family that you want to move to another country? So that's what I did. I took a couple of exams, I applied for universities, and I got selected in four different universities in Europe. But even then, I wasn't sure if I would be allowed to go. I just wanted to break away from all those traditional norms to create a life for myself. I had a vision, and it wasn't about fulfilling other people's expectations of me, but more about how I wanted to live my life. I wanted to set an example for all the girls in my society that if they dream to get a degree or move to another country, they have all the power to make that happen. And I finally made to the UK, 4,758 miles away from home on my own because I dared to dream. I dared to believe in myself, but it was not that easy. I had to go through so many difficult conversations to prove that my gender does not define the limits of my dreams. So many people, especially men, tried to show me my place, tried to silence me every time I voiced my opinion. And the worst part is, they still do. But now the difference is, I speak up anyway. Because this time, I promised my younger self that I'm going to stand up for myself. I was tagged rebellious, strong headed, and opinionated. I was filled with anger and resentment, which I later on started projecting onto others. I was angry all the time, angry about everything that was surrounding me. And I did not realize that I was hurting a lot of people along the way. It was much later when people close to me, some of my closest friends, they pointed out that I could not use my anger to prove I'm right. I couldn't fulfill all my dreams while being angry at other people. If I want the world around me to be kinder, I will have to be the example. For many years, I blamed the world for letting me down or for being unkind to me. Without realizing, I was doing the same for myself and others around me. I then decided to take the ownership of the situation. I decided to be the change I wanted to see in the world. And when I began to realize my potential and the courage within me to improve my life, there was no stopping after that. I pushed myself to deliberately work through the difficult circumstances, stood up for myself every time society tried to bring me down, believed in myself when no one else did. I worked day and night to work on my self esteem, read books, took professional help, journaled my thoughts and feelings. I had to work really hard to keep reminding myself that one day it will get better. And it took a lot of work, a lot of self awareness, and a lot of self care. And finally, last year, for the very first time, I looked myself in the mirror and said it out loud. I love myself. I am worthy of all those dreams and desires. I'm proud to say that I've come really far from that all the time angry Smriti to someone who's seeking peace, love, and kindness in the world. I have surrounded myself with some of the most amazing and supportive people, my mentors, my coaches, my managers at the organization. They are all so kind and supportive towards me and my goals. There are times when I still doubt myself, my capabilities, my dreams. I still face those societal pressures, but I make sure I'm staying true to myself because healing ourselves and loving ourselves is not a very easy process. It's a journey, not a destination. Being kind to ourselves is even harder than being kind to others. But I want to help people understand that we have to first work on ourselves, love ourselves, be kind to ourselves before we can spread the same in the world. As we all know, we can't pour from an empty vessel. You can't love someone when you don't love yourself because you will always see yourself through their eyes. You will feel pretty when they say you are pretty. And that's what happened to me. I started treating myself the same way they treated me. And trust me, that did not work out well. They say you should treat others the way you want to be treated. But I also feel that you should treat yourself the way you wish to be treated. So next time, before you say something mean or be unkind to someone or to yourself, just take a pause and think, is it going to bring kindness to the world? Because remember, only kindness can create more kindness. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me. Thank you.